Yo. Excuse me. B-Marsh Boxing, man. The aftermath. The morning after. Sunday morning, man. Yo, I slept like a baby last night, man. And I slept at like 4 a.m. I got up by like 8:30 a.m. And wow. It was like a dream. This shit felt like a dream what I witnessed last night. You know? It was like a dream. Hey man. Errol Spence. Wow. Hey man, y'all gotta go listen to my post fight review for what I did last night. You gotta see how I ethered Errol Spence, man. I had to ether this dude. I had to. Yeah, I had to. This guy, Errol Spence, is one of the biggest hype jobs I've seen in boxing in a while. And I'm not taking away no credit from the man Errol Spence as a fighter. And definitely ain't taking away no credit for Bud Crawford, because Bud Crawford is the illest boxer on planet Earth. The best boxer on planet Earth. He served a lot of people some humble pie last night. Last night, I was just imagining the faces of all them Errol Spence fanatics, people who don't know nothing. They don't know a damn thing about boxing. They only know Errol Spence, right? Yeah, well, I was just imagining how they feel deep down inside after that obliteration we witnessed last night. A public execution, you know. Derek James, Derek James really led this man, Errol Spence. He led him basically to the tombstone, walked him to the ring with whomever that rapper was. Them fellas was being really walked down to their casket. Yeah, I mean, Errol Spence, man, this guy's awful, man. His defense was oh, Jesus Christ. We've seen many of unifications and undisputed fights in the last 5 years or so. Excuse me. There was a period in time in boxing when unifications were very rare. You know, we weren't getting them like that. And then all of a sudden, unifications started popping off. Then it kind of dried up for a sec. And then we got into this undisputed era where guys are going for undisputed. The Devin Haney's, the Cannolis, Josh Taylor's, the Usyks. Now we ain't new. Bud Crawford, this is the only man who's ever been undisputed twice in the four-belt era. And Bud Crawford, man, he's really been he's laid down the blueprint of what is, without a shadow of a doubt, the Terrence Bud Crawford era. You see, here we are in 2023. Could anybody say it was the cannoli era after Floyd Mayweather retired? I mean, I guess some could say, but overall in boxing, I don't think the general consensus was everybody is pleased and acknowledges Cannoli as the best fighter in boxing, and he's fighting the best competition. Cannoli doesn't give us legendary nights like we witnessed with Errol Spence and Bud Crawford. He don't give us legendary nights. You thought Cannoli had the intentions of making a legendary night when he went in there with the man Dmitry Bivol? Nah, that was just a cherry pick gone wrong. He thought the Russian was sweet. The Russian could box, like he could box his head off, and that's exactly what he did. He boxed his ears off. All I gotta say to Errol Spence is he should just retire or something. He should retire. This guy's claim to fame coming into the boxing game was being a United States Olympian who did not come home with the gold. He ain't come home with no gold. Floyd Mayweather got robbed in the 96 Olympics. At least he came home with a bronze. Even Shakur Stevenson came home with a silver. And I'm not trying to go back to say Errol Spence was a bum from the get-go. I'm just trying to tell you that's how his claim to fame and hype was about. You know what I mean? You know, I'm very surprised at how people didn't believe in Bud Crawford's skill set and they believed in this flat-footed football player. Yeah, that's exactly what he is, a football player. He started boxing very late in his career, which is well and fine. I mean, look at a man like William Joppy from the Maryland, Washington, D.C. area, Rockville, Maryland, Silver Spring, Maryland. William Joppy was a two-time middleweight champion in the early 2000s. And guess what? Late 90s, excuse me, late 90s, early 2000s. Guess what? William Joppy first started boxing at the age of 20 years old. You know, so that's not the reason that Errol Spence lost because he started boxing. Hey, excuse me. As a teenager, and Bud Crawford was probably doing this since he was in elementary school. That's not why he lost. Errol Spence lost because he doesn't have as many tools in his toolbox as Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford was fighting from the southpaw stance from the get-go. And, hey, Bud Crawford is 40 and 0. 40 and 0 with what, 31 KOs? Don't you know in Bud Crawford's 40 fights, in his 40 fights in his boxing career, this was the easiest fight of his career? The easiest fight. Even Hank Lundy and these guys gave up a tougher fight than the man Errol Spence. Oh my gosh. Hey yo, so y'all gotta go check on these Errol Spence fans. And check on them and make sure they're okay. You know, I know a lot of them on suicide watch. You know, you gotta take out the knives out the drawer. Just don't give them an opportunity to off themselves, because this is just boxing. It shouldn't have to be to the extent where you want to off yourself and delete yourself. You know, the Errol Spence fans, you know, they were worse than even Wilder fans to me because of the type of stuff they were saying about Bud Crawford, a fellow black man. The type of stuff they said about Bud Crawford, it was an epic fail. Judgment Day. Come in this chat, y'all. Y'all gotta hit the thumbs up when you come in this chat. I ain't doing nothing but speaking the real ill spill, the truth. No hyperbole, no conjecture, just the facts about what happened. And the fact of the matter is, they tried to age Bud Crawford out. Not in 2023. For years, they've been trying to age this man out. I told y'all in my breakdown and prediction video, Bud Crawford at least fought in December of 2022. This other guy been out the ring more than probably like 16 months. Yeah. Dude wasn't hungry. He wasn't hungry. He ain't have that hunger in him no more. You know? Bud Crawford, the way Bud put hands on the man Errol Spence probably got flashbacks of that car accident he was in. And probably in more time, them fellows, Errol Spence was probably like, God damn, man, I felt like I was in a worse car accident messing with the man Bud Crawford in the ring. You know? The man Errol Spence, he just didn't come to perform. And he knew that. Not the night of. He's known this for years. The inevitable was going to happen. At the weigh-in, on Thursday, the very last face-off they had, which was at the weigh-in, when they were speaking to each other in the ear because the crowd was so loud they couldn't just hear each other speak. Errol Spence told me everything I needed to know. When he told him, man, you should thank me for making this fight happen. I forgot exactly what Bud Crawford said after. And all the man Errol Spence was talking about was, we're going to make a whole lot of money. That's all was on his mind. Bud Crawford was about legacy the whole time. The whole time he was about legacy. To the point where he said he don't even really need the man Errol Spence. He's a legend already. He said he don't need Errol Spence. He's already a Hall of Famer. This was just the icing on the cake, the cherry on top of the cake. The cherry on top, you know. It was a beautiful thing to see, you know, when a suburban kid, a an entitled suburban kid like the man Errol Spence. And ain't nothing wrong with being from the suburbs, you know. I'm just saying what Errol Spence is. Spoiled suburban kid. Don't even smoke no weed. He never picked up a spliff in his life talking about I'm Jamaican. We're gonna roll bud up and smoke them. Are you serious? Come on, dogs. But Crawford killed him the whole time in the press conferences. He had some nice comebacks, slick comebacks, popping off at the mouth. And his catching fish analogy was way better than that I'm smoking bud. When a guy don't even smoke bud and is talking about he's gonna smoke bud and roll him up and I'm Jamaican, all this blah 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 nonsense. Errol Spence, man, you know, Errol Spence is the definition of a guy who got to the top and forgot where he came from. You know, hence why he be getting bent. You know, I mean, forget everything about boxing. Bud Crawford don't drink or smoke. Errol Spence is a alcoholic. You think that guy had the stamina, the health, skill set, mindset to be the focused man like Bud Crawford who does this? You've seen Bud Crawford fight, man. Y'all Johnny come latelys, man. Maybe y'all just started watching boxing 5 minutes ago. But we know who has a mean streak in him. You know who can turn it up, turn on the switch like the Chicago Bulls of the 90s. I just flipped the switch and just put it on you how he did Hank Lundy and Thierry Jean and all these guys who was out of pocket. And Del Spence even got it worse than those guys. Mm-mm-mm. A public execution was on hand July 29th. I'll never forget this day for the rest of my life. You watch boxing, you heard my breakdown and prediction. I was confident Bud Crawford would win. Not the way he did. I didn't pick a stoppage. I picked him to win 8 rounds to 4 on points. And man, wow. We got some people in the chat. Kawhi struggles. What's his name? What's he says? Kawhi Straightface says, now we know why Al didn't want Spence to take the Bud fight. Talking about easy route. Hey, man, let's not blame Al Heyman. You've never heard Al Heyman speak and say, I killed that fight. I'm keeping Errol Spence away from Bud Crawford because I know, uh, no, 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 no. Nah, we're not going to do that. This has nothing to do with Al Heyman. This has everything to do with Errol Spence and his team. And I don't believe they never thought that they could beat Bud Crawford. I believe Errol Spence was 100% confident he was going to beat Bud Crawford. But he just stepped into the ring with the wrong one. One of them ones, a real one, just an all-time great. That's what happened. Wasn't anything about Al Heyman. We got to stop blaming people like Al Heyman. This is a brother who gave us the great fight. If it wasn't for Al Heyman's PBC outfit, we wouldn't have got this fight. You've never heard Al Heyman speak or say his thoughts or convey his, anything in his speech. We don't hear the guy speak. We don't see him. So this got nothing to do with Al Heyman. This has everything to do with the Man Down Promotions, that team from Dallas that came into the ring, possibly prepared, but they just was over their head. They thought what they were doing in boxing was something great. I never thought there was anything Errol Spence was doing in boxing that I've never seen before. I mean, he was a one-weight champion, and he's collecting belts. Us all well and fine. He's getting belts, but all those guys he's beating, they can't hold a candle, or they can't hold a flame to the man Bud Crawford. Bud Crawford beats all those guys on Errol Spence's resume. Yo, And that's why I never thought he was doing anything special. They thought they were. So imagine if they think they're doing something special, collecting 3 straps on the PB side, while Bud Crawford got his 1 strap that he beat off of a big Australian Jeff Horn. They didn't rate the man, Bud Crawford. They didn't think he's that dude. They didn't think. They kept talking about his resume. I told y'all on my video last night, up until Friday, there's YouTube boxing channels. Derek James and all them in his interviews, they still talking about A-side stuff. The fight been made for months. Here we are on Friday, the weigh-in, the eve of the fight. They still talking about A-side. Come on, who's focused on throwing punches? The boxing YouTube channels here on YouTube still was talking about Errol Spence is the A side, and Bud should be lucky that Errol Spence made this fight. You guys are. I'm not gonna cuss on this video. I did enough cussing and swearing on my last video last night. But these sheep, they just run with any and everything, and they believe. Dogs, the very first video I made on my you, hey, hit the thumbs up in this chat. Don't come in this joint eavesdropping. Let's stop it. Please don't do that. Hit the thumbs up. I'm not here for just to run my mouth, man. I'm giving y'all the real deal, ill spill. You know what I mean? Hit the thumbs up. Don't come in this joint eavesdropping. That's not cool. Um, my very first video I made for this particular fight when it got made and it was official. I wasn't like, wow, wonderful. Errol Spence versus Bud Crawford. Finally, we got the fight. Oh, I'm so elated. Nah, nah, nah. That's not what I did. My video was like it was a picture of Errol Spence's face, and it said, "Did he really have a choice?" He's talking about he made this fight happen and all that. Did he really have a choice? His first choice was Keith Thurman at 154. Keith Thurman actually signed the contract first. That's the dude he was really trying to fight, Keith Thurman. But he seen the public backlash about we don't want to see you versus Keith Thurman. Stop it, man. Stop ducking Bud Crawford. He seen the public outlash, and they had to wear their big boy pants, and they had to man up, not man down, because only one who was man down was Errol Spence 3 times. He just got destroyed, humiliated in front of his wife, his kids, his family, his pops, his fans. Oh man, it's just damn, man. Even Manny Pacquiao, at least Manny Pacquiao ain't get beat up like that by Floyd. And then Manny Pacquiao damn near left that ring with damn near $200 million in his bank account. Of course, Floyd Mayweather made like 300 million, but at the end of the day, he left out with a whole lot of paper. And there's levels to this, you know. Pacquiao ain't on Floyd Mayweather's level. And that's why the fight was how it looked. It looked very one-sided because there's levels to this. And what did we see last night? We didn't see no boxing fight, man. We seen a public execution, and the man Errol Spence really get beat like he stole something, man. That was personal what Bud Crawford did to that man. And not personal because he hates Errol Spence. Nah, that's for these YouTube channels, the naysayers on the internet. Bud Crawford really has a problem with a lot of these people who talk boxing, whether it's a YouTube channel or who just on their Twitter fingers disrespected him. This was for y'all, man. This was for y'all. It was nothing personal against Errol Spence. These guys are in the same industry, they gotta feed their family, throwing their hands. So it wasn't personal against him, but he took out frustration, anger, and all that out on Errol Spence because y'all did this to him. You know, it's like a dude who's a good dude and is really a good dude, and he's really into a particular woman, a girl, and he thinks this is a virtuous woman, and somehow, some way, she breaks his heart. She does something so foul, and the guy never thought this young lady would do something foul like that. You know what I mean? And it just breaks his heart. To the point the man gess jaded, and now he thinks all women gonna be on that type of time. and he just becomes cold-blooded, ruthless, and don't give women, even women who might be virtuous women, he don't give him a blood, don't give him a time of day to, he's just gonna, you know, stick and move basically, right? It's because of how he got treated by the one woman he thought was gonna possibly be the love of his life or maybe the mother of his kids, and she just did something so egregious, whatever it could be, you know what I mean? That there was no coming back from it, and that's exactly how Bud Crawford treated Spence. You see, your fans got me. Y'all made me do this. You made me do this, and there ain't no coming back. And Bud Crawford, I'm sorry, Errol Spence, I love you. At the end of the fight, I'll give you a pound and say, "Good fight, man." And you fought like you at least you stood in there and tried to do the best you can. But I'm sorry, you're gonna have to get this work, man. There was a particular round after I think after round seven, when Bud dropped the dude twice, was beating the hell out of him. When the bell rang, man, this man Bud Crawford embarrassed Errol Spence. He basically went. Errol Spence is walking to his corner. Bud Crawford followed him and basically was like, "Man, are you okay? Or I'm sorry for whooping beating your ass the way I'm doing." It was just embarrassing. Like he was consoling and consoling the guy, while in the next minute, I'm just gonna continue to beat you down, man down. Only one was man down was Errol Spence. When it comes to strap season, Errol Spence could never utter the word strap season out of his mouth ever again in life, because he came there with three straps, 75% of the straps, and they just got taken in just one swoop of the night, like a thief in the night just came and stole them, just took them off of his hands. But not in no sneaky way like a cat burglar. Nah, man, he told him what he's going to do to him for months. "I'm going to come and take your belts and you ain't going to do nothing about it." And that's exactly what happened. Ooh, 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 ooh. Mr. Doc, what's up, Mr. Doc? How you doing, man? Salute, Mr. Doc, man. Not long time I ain't seen you in the chat. Oh, I ain't even. Mr. Doc's in the chat. He says, "Man, I always convinced Bud without Class Spence, but Bud made a really good fighter look like a journeyman." Absolutely. Mr. Doc said, "I smoke more weed than Errol." Talk to him, man. Let him know. Errol Spence talking about, "I'm Jamaican." You ain't no damn Jamaican. You's a Yankee boy. He's a Yankee. You's a Yankee from Texas. You used to wear a shag like the Dallas fellas. Look how you talk with your country slurred accent. You ain't no damn Jamaican, man. Maybe your pops is, but you just straight up Yankee boy. You know what I mean? You check it. Mr. Doc says, "Educate and be Marsh always, man. That's what we here to do, man. Teach the truth." Oh, Mr. Doc says, "I hit that. I hit that like my man." Mr. Doc says, 100. Main boxing biker, what up, main boxing biker? Salute. Thanks for coming through. You heard? He says, "Yo, what up, B Marsh? I'm late to the party, but I'm here. Thanks for coming through. You already know. Main boxing biker, Mr. Doc says, what's up to you?" Kawhi Strayfest says, "No, B Marsh. I heard Sean Porter and Spence say out of their mouths the higher ups didn't want them to fight Bud. Both fighters dig their heels in to fight him." Well, if you've heard that, I didn't hear that, and if that's the case, I really doubt a man like Sean Porter though will come out and say Al Heyman is the one blocking this fight, because these guys, I've never heard nobody talk those type of things about Al Heyman. You know what I mean? But from a business point of view, I mean, you can understand why, if Al Heyman is calling the shots and advising these guys which fights to take next, you can see why they decided Errol Spence fought. Who did he fight? His first strap was Kell Brook. His second was Sean Porter. That was a big fight to be made. There was nobody who complained about about Spence versus Sean Porter at the time. It was a very good fight, how it turned out to be, and the last fight was versus Ugast for the unifications, and From a business point of view, you could see why they went that route. And it was really supposed to be Pacquiao versus Spence. And I'm glad Spence didn't get that fight. And it goes to show y'all, man. I mean, this could have been one of your determining factors on why Errol Spence had no chance to beat Bud Crawford. A 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao was willing, ready, and able to get into the ring with the man Errol Spence. Else, obviously, the fight ain't happened because Errol Spence had to be pulled out of the fight because of the bad retina. He missed out on the opportunity, and Ugas, the late minute replacement, got called up to fight the man Manny Pacquiao. What about Manny Pacquiao versus Bud Crawford? Manny Pacquiao, I don't think Manny Pacquiao has even said the words Terrence Crawford out of his mouth. He wanted no parts of that man. Absolutely none. He ducked him twice while they were both on top rank. Wanted no smoke with him. But Manny Pacquiao, 42, and this is a 30-something-year-old Pacquiao. He wasn't in his 40s yet when he ducked Bud Crawford. But a 42-year-old Manny Pacquiao is willing, is ready for unification versus Errol Spence. I should have told y'all everything about who gonna win this fight. Manny Pacquiao had no fear in Errol Spence. But when he sees Terrence Crawford, he sees the boogeyman. Yeah, I mean, Mr. Doc says, I never thought about it that way, but I think you're right. Spence fans did this to him. They did. They did, man. They did. Black Fight Fan, Monty Brown. I don't listen to these channels at all. Hey, man, I don't listen to them at all. I don't listen to no fanboy channel. You know, who else? Boxing Ego, uh, Ashley's Corner. A lot of these channels was really on some fanboy and fangirl shit, man. Excuse me. I was trying not to cuss. Excuse me. I was trying not to swear. They really was on some fanboy thing, you know what I mean? And there was really no integrity, you know. They had no respect for the illest dude out of Nebraska, who's really the illest boxer on planet Earth. But to me, been pound for pound number one since about 2017 or so, about 2017. Yeah, I mean, and I've never wavered. When I've said it on my channel, it's pound for pound. People came to try to convince me. No, it's Cannoli. No, it's Inui. No, it's Usyk. No, it's Spence. No, it's Mikey Garcia. It's Lomachenko. Never that. It's hey yo, look at a man like Lomachenko, a guy that the media has hyped up way more than they've ever done. Bud Crawford. Look at his resume. Look at his record. Look at his skill set. You can't even compare it to Bud Crawford, man. Another fighter from the great Midwest. You know, I'm one of those who do believe the greatest fighters in boxing history, especially from USA, they come from the Midwest. They don't come from Dallas, Texas. I'm gonna tell you that. They don't come from no damn Dallas, Texas. You know. Donald Curry was a bad man. The Lone Star Cobra was a bad man from Dallas, Texas, and that's where it stops. That's where it stops. Oh, what a fight, man. What a fight. Mr. Doc said Bud was on a mission. Mr. Doc says, man, he need to go sit down, stay away from Bud. He did. He did that twice. Todd French 600. What's up, Todd? How you feeling, big man? Todd French 600 said, no, Spence didn't do that to him. Bud's fans talked as much trash. Todd French 600, stop. They didn't call, they called the man Bud Crawford top ranked Toby. You know, that's how far they went. They said he was a slave to his slave master, Bob Arum. And at the end of the day, Todd French 600, even if Bud Crawford fans talked as much trash, right? They deserve to. Look who won the fight. Look who got their head high tonight. You know what I'm saying? Look who got their head, who's feeling good about what happened last night. If they talk trash too, it was and they you only it's only right, you know. If somebody says something foul to you, you gotta retaliate back, and that's what they got. You know, the Bud Crawford fans, I can't tell you really any Bud Crawford fanboy channels here on YouTube. I could name many Errol Spence YouTube fanboy channels. You know, Bud Crawford didn't get the respect he deserved. I don't know why. I don't know why they believed in that church boy from Dallas, Texas, and they ain't believed from with the real rough and rugged street dude from Omaha, Nebraska. I don't understand why. And those factors are not the determining factors that make you win the fight. No. I mean, the skill set, what I see from the skill set is what determined who's going to win the fight. But that the schoolboy from Dallas, Texas, you need to just go back to watching Dallas Cowboy football. You know, once you root for a team like Dallas Cowboys, you're gonna take many L's in your life. I'm trying to tell you, man. You're gonna take many L's. You know what I mean? Once you, you know, Errol Spence. Shout out my man Town Biz, Oakland. Salute to Town Biz, great channel. He been on it. He's been on the Errol Spence fanboys' necks, on their heads, on their helmet. He been definitely talking the truth about these YouTube channels and how foul they've been about the man, talking about Errol Spence. You know, I'm sorry, the way they've been talking about Bud Crawford. Yeah, I mean, shout out Town Biz all day, every day. Go to his channel, subscribe. Good man, and he got vindication. The whole time he been talking about Bud gonna do the damn thing. He got vindication, man. Top Fish 600. Top Fish 600. Let me guess. You was rooting for Errol Spence last night, right? Be honest, man. Don't lie to anybody. Don't lie to yourself. Just be honest. If you was rooting for the man Errol Spence, that's well and fine. And there's absolutely no problem with rooting for whomever you want to. Yes, indeed. Yeah, I could tell you was rooting for Spence. Because the first thing he came in was talking about was Bud fans was talking as much trash too. That's not the way to go. That ain't it, man. That ain't it, Todd Fetch 600. Take that L. Hold that L tonight. You know, I'm not saying you was being disrespectful or anything, but hold that L. Don't worry about what Bud Crawford fans was talking. Because at the end of the day, they Bud Crawford won the fight, you know? You know? But it's all good. You can root for whomever you want, you know? What you think? I got Deontay Wilder versus Tyson Fury prediction wrong. The second fight, it happens, you know. But one thing for sure, two things for certain. I didn't come. I wasn't no fanboy of no Deontay Wilder, and anybody who knows me knows I've always been a Deontay Wilder doubter. Anybody, I even picked Bermain Stervern to beat him in the first fight for the vacant world title. I didn't believe in his skill set. I thought he can't box. He proved me right at the end of the day. But you know, as he was building momentum, of course, he's an American heavyweight champ. Of course, I was rooting for him. What, I'm going to root for Anthony Joshua over Wilder? Are you serious? Or Tyson Fury? That's what I'm not going to do. But at the end of the day, he did it to himself, and he disgusted me with how he handled himself after the second fight. The excuses, the blaming Mark Breland. Deontay Wilder himself, too, he's a kind of clown because Deontay Wilder had all this smoke for Tyson Fury, but when he's seen it in Dubai, he's all greeting the man and talking about blessings and stuff. I didn't like that one bit. Should have kept the same energy you had online. Mm-mm. Uh, Top Fan 600 says LMAO. Wow, I am a Saints fan. Uh, see, they calling people. Uh, see, they calling people Spence fanboys. Man, Todd French 600, man. Are you trying to tell me they ain't no Spence fanboys? Come on, man. The Spence fans was disgusting, man. During the build up for this fight for years, it was foul, disgusting, and repulsive. And they got their judgment day. And I feel sorry for not one of them. None of them. I feel sorry for none of them. Hell yeah, there's Spence fanboys. And they on suicide watch. That's exactly what they on. Top Fence 600 says it happens. The good thing is we got a good fight. Absolutely. Boxing fans won. And Errol Spence fanboys ain't boxing fans. They Errol Spence fans. Boxing fans won. Errol Spence fans will probably leave the sport, shut down their channels, be on suicide watch, project their anger and frustrations about their favorite fighter. They're going to project their anger and frustrations out on their girlfriend or their wife or their kids. It's just going to be a bad rest of 2023 for they man. It's just going to be bad. They're going to come to work, going to be lackadaisical at work. Somebody might ask him, damn, Billy, what's happening? What's wrong? You haven't been yourself this whole week. They're going to snap at them, might lose their job, going to be riding around with a rusty 4/5 or 357 Magnum, and they might off themselves, you know? And if they do, it just goes to show how weak and feeble they was from the get-go. Big grown men here on YouTube, older than me, damn near even my pop's age, and they was on some fanboyism. You can support who you want, but you ain't got to disrespect Bud Crawford. You ain't got to disrespect no fighter. Go listen to my post-fight review last night. I went in. Longest post-fight review I've ever done, and it was well worth it. I even listened to it 2 times. Top Fish 600 say, yes, sir, Bud won. It is what it is. Yeah, man. Bud is the truth. Absolutely. Not Errol's the truth, Spence. Yo. What's the name of the title of this video? Errol. I think I gave him some kind of name. I can't remember. But the truth is, Travis the truth, Bud Crawford. Top Fetch 600 said, I'm definitely a Wilder fan. Absolutely. I'll root for Wilder in all his next fights. But I lost some respect for him. I'm not going to lie. Not because of how he... the third fight, he fought like a man. He went out on his shield. He fought like a soldier in the last fight. But it's his mouth. The stuff he said out of his mouth. And the hypocrisy. And how he didn't take them losses like a man and kept blaming. Even the third fight wasn't cool, man. And that's because he got a newfound fan base on YouTube that don't even talk about him anymore. Like they said, somebody told me in my chat last night, fanboys really not, some of them might man up. They're not gonna delete themselves and be in suicide watch. They're just going next to jump on the next man. And they're gonna be now Boots Ennis supporters, and they're going to start talking about Bud Crawford is ducking Boots. I'm gonna keep it tall with y'all. If I'm Bud Crawford, I'm not fighting no damn Boots. Are you serious? I ain't fighting that dude. Hell nah, cuz. And I like Boots Ennis. But Boots Ennis can carve out his own destiny legacy and his own path in 147. Deserves a title shot, but I'm not fighting him if I'm Bud Crawford. At this stage, I'm only fighting for legacy and big money, not no short money to beat a Mando. You know what I'm saying? Them fellas, big up man like Marvin Hagler when he fought the man from Uganda. What was them fellas' name? Mugabe. He ain't need to fight that dude. He ain't need to fight that dude, but he did. His second to last fight of his career. And that fight took a toll out of him, really and truly. It did. He stopped him, but Marvin Hagler went to hell and back messing with the man, Mugabe. John Mugabe from Uganda, silver medalist from Uganda, 1980 Olympics. A hard hitter came into the fight versus Hagler with 25 wins and 25 KOs. That was a dangerous fight. If I'm Bud Crawford, I ain't fighting no damn Boots. Boots, go find Staniosis and Virgil Ortiz and these guys. And you can become undisputed on your own. If I'm Bud Crawford, I'm trying to get my hands on Jamel Charlo. That's what I'm trying to do for all them straps, undisputed at 154 pounds. And after he beats him, because he will beat him, He will beat him. After Bud Crawford beats the little Charlo, I'd retire off into the sunset or do exhibition stuff. Fight Jake Paul for millions. That's what I would do. I mean, because at that point, Bud Crawford would have been undisputed in three different weight classes. What he's supposed to be doing? Fighting Mandos? Hell nah, cuz. I wouldn't fight no damn Boots Ennis. The risk ain't worth the reward. And Boots Ennis, man, ain't fought nobody. As far as former world champions like that. Maybe he fought the Lawman never even been a former world. Yeah, I just wouldn't do it, man. I wouldn't do it. Just off GP. For what? For what? Then that'll be a video I'll make in the future when Bud is retired. Fights we didn't get to see. But I wouldn't fight that guy. Too dangerous. He's a dude who switches stances too. Hell nah, man. Uh-uh. Nope. Uh Todd Finch 600 says, yeah, man, no arguments. Bud is that dude. Facto. He been that dude. Todd Finch 600 says, I had a great time in Vegas, so I leave tomorrow. Oh, that's what's up. You was out in Vegas. Did you go inside the arena, T-Mobile Arena, to watch the fight? Were you in the venue? Low Blow Champ says, easy money. Bud was always better. Facto. He was always better. Salute the Low Blow Champ. Todd Finch 600 says, I I threw I I threw that had it. Hold on, what does that say? I threw that hadn't fought nobody thing out the water. Oh, okay. I threw that hadn't fought nobody thing out the water. Records mean nothing until you fight who you fight. Facto. When they always say this guy ain't fought nobody, or you know, this guy ain't fought nobody. Look, that might be the case, but he's gonna have to fight somebody at some point. Yeah, I mean, especially when they say a guy ain't fought nobody and he's a damn good fighter. It's obvious guys are trying to stay away from him. Low Blow Champ says, I'm in Vegas too. Kind of mad I went after seeing how one-sided it was. Nah, man, don't be upset, man. You witness history. You witness an undisputed fight of two of the best welterweights of their generation. And Bud clearly showed his levels to this. You know? He clearly showed his levels to this and he destroyed the guy. Top Fetch 600 says, LOL, I couldn't get no way near the I couldn't get no way near the T-Mobile Arena. It was on lockdown, LOL. I'm sure, man, and I'm sure the tickets was expensive. I did look at how much the tickets cost. I think that in the excuse me, I gotta get me some breakfast, y'all. I gotta get me a fat breakfast today, man. I was out last night watching the fight with a bunch of friends, and I was drinking some yak. I hadn't drank cognac in a little while. Definitely ain't have no hangover. I didn't drink. I don't drink to get bent. Never that. But the next morning I definitely need something in my food box. You know. Top Fence 600 says, "Can we have a can we have a nauseous conversation about how Vegas seems to get it right 99% of the time, as far as what like the betting odds. Yeah, well, the casinos have to make their money. That's how they make their money. But that's a beautiful thing about betting. The beautiful thing about betting is the underdogs. What Vegas says is going to happen doesn't always happen. And if you have some insight or knowledge about what you're betting on and you can see an upset, that's what we love about this betting shit. Yes, indeed. Absolutely, man. Vegas had it right by slightly. Dude was only like plus one, plus 120. Spence was a plus 120 on the betting odds. So it was damn near a 50-50 fight. But yo, B Marsh Boxing, I gotta sign out. I think I've been talking for like 45 minutes. I appreciate everybody who came in this joint. But now my stomach hungry. My stomach. I need something in my food box, man. I need something in my food box. And I salute everybody who came through. Tide Fed 600 low blow champ. Salute to all y'all. Mr. Doc always. Main boxing biker. Big up, big up. Kawhi straight face. Salute to all y'all. Thanks for hitting the thumbs up. Thanks for coming through. Please share this video. So subscribe if you're new to the channel. Hit the thumbs up. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Glad we seen. Oh, let me read these last couple joints. Low Blow Champ says Vegas capitalizes off the casual better. Yes, indeed. Most casuals had Spence last night. I like that, and we gonna end it off of that. Most casuals had Spence last night. I like that, Low Blow Champ. I'm out of here. One.